Hello, it's Ashley here from Paper&Twine and welcome to day 16 of 31 days of Christmas crafting in October. So we've passed the hump today, we're more than halfway through. Thank goodness for that, I hear you say. Please don't feel you have to watch every video. You might come back to these in December when you're looking for ideas, but I'm liking to get ahead. So what have I got for you today? I've made a prototype. This is something that I used to make for craft fairs back in the day. And I've had another little go. Not as successful as the first time, I have to say. But I'm going to show you how to make this. This is my prototype. It is a cute little box that is about 2.5 inches by 1 inch. Let me just check that for you. It's 2.5 inches by 1.25 inches across, and it is 1 inch wide. So it's 1 inch that way, 1.25 inches, and 2.5 deep. And you can see my gluing on this isn't very good, and I haven't embellished it, but it is a cute little box that holds very snugly 2 of these green and blacks little mini bars. I don't know about you, but I do have a soft spot for green and blacks chocolate. And again, this would make a little craft fair make, a little random act of kindness make, a table favour, a stocking stuffer, lots and lots of ideas for this. And we're going to make one together. You need a fairly decent cardstock for this, something that's going to score nicely and is pre-patterned if you want to be really quick. So I've been looking through my extensive stash of hunky-dory papers and I've found this, which is foiled. It's got kind of like the poinsettia and Christmas berries and evergreens on it, and yes, obviously you use what you've got in your stash. So you will need to start off with a piece of card that is 7 5/8 by 3 1/4, and you will easily get 3 of these out of a sheet of A4, so they're quite cost effective to make. I'm going to score on the reverse, but you do you. I'm going to score on the short side at 1, 2 1/4. Now we do know that hunky-dory, adorable scoreable, should score really nicely. Then rotate it, and on the long side you're going to score at 2.5. Did you hear my wire twang then? 2.5. 3.5, 6, and 7. Just making sure that that is accurate. And then you can put your scoreboard out of the way because you've done all of your scoring, and I hope you can see the score marks there. Now we need to do a little bit of cutting. Let's find our scissors. Shall I burnish first or cut first? Some people do different things, don't they? I'm going to burnish first. So just folding over on these long score lines first. And then folding up my other ones. And as I say, these again would make nice wedding favours, or if you're having a dinner party to dress your table. Do people still do dinner parties? Maybe not as formally as we used to back in the 80s and 90s, but yeah, I like having people around for a meal. So that is all of our folding and burnishing done. And on these little squares here, you want to just cut up that line. Don't cut away. Just cut up as neatly as you can. You know I'm not very good at this. You'll all be much better than me. and doing the other side. Then on the top, you want to cut down. Can you see you've got two sections here? You want to cut down to that second score line on both sides. This is the top of your box, the lid. And then you see you've got two sections here. You're going to cut about halfway along the second section to cut that part away, like that, and then just wedge those little bits for ease of closing. Just get these bits out of the way. It does score rather nicely, does Hunky Dory, adorable, scoreable, whatever you think of them. Then I'm just going to bring in my envelope punch board, and I'm going to just round the corners of my little tab. It'll just make it easier to open. As I say, do this with whatever heavy cardstock you've got available, or a plain cardstock, and then you could mat and lay it patterned paper. And what we're going to do now is we're going to fold up this section here and this section here to make the bottom of our box, and just bring that down and work out which side looks neatest. So I think that gives a neater finish there, and that gives a neater finish there. So I've got my seam at the back of the box, because this is going to be the front with our tab. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just put some tape on these outer bits. You could use glue, but I just want to use tape. And in fact, just to make this close a little bit easier, I'm just going to wedge away here, just a slither, just to make it slightly less bulky. So I'm hoping this is quite a quick project today, as it's the weekend and we're all very busy. I hope wherever you are, you're having a nice weekend. Right, that's that. So which bits did we say we wanted? Yes, this is the back. So we want to put some tape on these two sections here. Tape, 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 where are you? Here we are. Have you all started doing your Christmas shopping? I know there's panic in the stores, aren't there? Or, you know, people are panicking about food shopping for Christmas. I tell you what I'm having difficulty finding, and I don't know whether it's because there's that CO2 shortage. I'm going to speak to Mr. Paper&Twine about it, but I like the Baco foil, or Baco foil, however you pronounce it, cling film that comes in the sturdy plastic box, and you can get the refills for it. Can't get it for love nor money, and you know, I've looked in quite a few places now. Can't get it for love nor money. I can't get the original. You know, you can buy it, the dispenser with like 10 meters of cling film in, and then you get like the 30, I think it's a 30-meter refill. Can't get either. Just going to tuck that out of the way. You can tell I'm not very good with tape. I'm much better with glue, but I'm just trying to use up what I've got. And my scissors aren't the best. And I just want to snip that excess away there, because I hadn't got a clean line. And one of my subscribers, I'm not going to say who they are, and I doubt that they will be watching, but they are having a very bad time at the moment. I'm not going to say who they are, but I just want them to know that I'm thinking about them and wishing them well. That's all I'm going to say about that. Right, let's get this tape removed if we can. Now this is something else that I struggle with. Should have perhaps done one side at a time, but never mind. We'll bring that over, line it up nicely, and we'll bring this over and line it up as nicely as we can, and do the same with this side. Okay, that's not too bad, and there is our little box. And I'm going to have to cut a little tab away from here, I think, just to make that easier to open. Just a tiny slither because it's just catching. That's it. So you've got a really snug closing box there, and if you put your little chocolate bars back to back, they fit in super snugly. They will do if you haven't got bits sticking up in the side. Can you see that? Now it's up to you how you decorate your box. I've gone ahead and I've cut a circle out of gold because we've got gold foil. I'm going to bring in some of this twine that we've used in previous projects this month, and you don't want a lot. I reckon that will be more than enough. This is a little bit thick for the 1/8 of an inch hole that I've got. But again, I'm just using what I have got. And trying to use it up. And just threading that through. Oh, fingers and thumbs today. Trying to do it quickly because I know everybody's in a hurry. And then I'm going to try and tie a knot in that so that it doesn't escape. And I also quite like the look of a knot. There we go. And I'm just going to glue that to the front of my box off centre like that, I think, so that the twine's sticking out the side. Just bring in a little bit of glue. Let's see if we can bring this in under 15 minutes today. Would have been if I hadn't been faffing with tape and stuff. Right, just put that on there. And then because I've used Hunky Dory, I found this little sentiment from Our Home to Yours with Love. And I'm just going to pop a little 3D foam pad on the back of that. Look. And stick that on there like so. And there you have a cute little treat box that could be used for any occasion. And it's taken no time at all, really. It'd have taken less time if I hadn't been waffling and fiddling with tape. But once you get the hang of these, you can knock these up really, really quickly. If cutting paper isn't your thing, I've made this out of white cardstock. You can see my join here isn't very good. You'd be much neater than me. But what I've done is I've taken a piece of white cardstock and I've used 2 of the Lavinia pound stamps, and I've just randomly stamped the holly leaf and this little mini dots, which could be like snow flurry. And doesn't the white with the gold embossing look really classy? And then I've picked up on that holly leaf detail and I've used this holly leaf die, which I've used a couple of times. There it is in the sparkle card. It was £2 from the works, and it cuts really nicely, and there's a little fine emboss on it. I've put some fine Lurex gold thread. I've mounted up on a little circle, punch circle, don't peek, and that's ready. I've got my closure at the back this time. That's ready for our 2 green and blacks chocolates to fit in snugly. Do it up, and there you are. Cute little random act of kindness gift, a stocking stuffer, a table favour, a craft fair make. Do with it what you will. And look, I've gone over 15 minutes. I will be back tomorrow with day 17. Woo! And as it's the weekend and some of you have got young kids, we're going to do something with the kids tomorrow. Take care, everybody. See you soon. Bye now.